don't mind if you catch this after the fact. Um, saw some interesting stuff lately, man. I'm around and keeping an eye on the stuff that I follow. Um, and I saw Carmelo Anthony. He's on the most recent episode of The Shop with Liz Cambridge from the Las Vegas Aces. Rapper Jack Harlow, Jason Sudeikis was great. The Keegan, what's his name? Keegan, not he's not Jordan. I don't know his name. Michael Keegan something. Keegan Peele, whatever is the other guy. Uh, I thought he overthought a lot of his stuff. But Liz Cambridge, she said a lot of stuff about mental health and how she was tearing herself up and living recklessly and partaking in a lot of stuff that could be detrimental to the career and the daily performance of an athlete. Um, I've kind of been hard on her because of the way she put herself out there a couple months back when she said something, I'm a big bitch, but then didn't want to coach. Arguing, playing the politics with the referee to try to get his team some calls. So I was trying to I was trying to have some empathy and listen to her explain her struggles. She tries to support her national team in Australia. And then Carmelo kind of comes in after her talking about obviously his time away from the game well before he thought he had expired as a professional basketball player. When the phone calls quit coming, the agent, there weren't any feelers out there for Melo and his services. Um, he has the reputation as a walking bucket and one of the best scorers in the history of the game. And he's sitting here watching, his draft mate and LeBron James go on to do, be in position to win a title year after year, and he was sidelined for a year. So he was very, he shared quite a bit talking about, he said he didn't watch basketball while he was away. But then he got into this moment where he was talking about dealing with losing and dealing with just the effects of the chatter on his mental health. And I'm like, damn, why the hell is everybody so miserable? And I'll get into this Naomi Osaka stuff in here in just a minute to bring the whole subject together. But I'm like, damn, us everyday folks in our various careers and jobs and occupations and roles, our financial situations, the limited opportunities. We don't get mental health breaks. Some people don't even get a week off, 2 weeks off. Some people don't get great pay for the job that they do. Some people are in industries where I got some food the other night. I picked up some carry out, and you could tell that the establishment was terribly understaffed, and it was just, and it wasn't even crowded, but enough people had called off or whatever, or they just don't have enough bodies, and I just wanted to tell them keep my money and let me get out of here. Like, y'all are all pissed off and miserable, and and the situation is horrible, and I don't even see the manager for the 15 minutes that I'm in there. So it's like a lot of shit is just rudderless right now. And then to see people, making millions of dollars a year and competing in the sports that they've trained their entire lives to be in, and these people, some of these individuals are sitting here struggling because you got a million talking heads on all these platforms who need them to eat, who need them doing what they do to make the money. Like it's It's crazy that Stephen A. Smith earns $10 million a year doing something that everybody can do. Maybe not at his level, but that's just astonishing. The man, the man has taken over ESPN. If you see what's going on right now with First Take doing some shuffling and getting Max Kellerman up out of there, and this dude is just, and I don't even. So I'm just struggling with the fact to hear a dude like Carmelo come up the way that he came up in from the streets and in the beginnings that he came up from, and to sit here and let Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, Marcellus Wiley, Emmanuel Acho, Kendrick Perkins, and then 10,000 guys like myself to sit here and let people pick you apart. And I just think it goes back to one thing, man. Like, enjoy your career and the fact that from a very young age, you knew what you wanted to do. You were gifted with the skills to do what you want to do at an elite level. And then factor in that it's going to be a winner and a loser. And shout out to my man Latoris Harrison, who does a lot of who does his podcast here on YouTube with and creates content here as the Conceited Nobody. But he says, you know, it's just he mentions regularly that it's just a messed up world when everyday people are. It's barely a degree of separation nowadays, and I'm sure a lot of these athletes and celebrities and public figures, media people with the bigger platforms, like they want to be on these social media platforms because everybody is there. But then you kind of like the shit that I see Talib Kweli talking on Instagram, like it's a major turnoff for me with him as an artist because of the back and forth that he does with everybody. And it's like, how do you have that much energy, bro? And how do you, that shit is a turnoff. And so like I'm saying, I'm just sitting here with Carmelo Anthony, a player that I was team Anthony coming into the league, and I'm pissed off that the Pistons didn't draft him when they had the chance to, and he went to Denver. But I wanted Anthony to be better than LeBron. I respected him for going. I love the orange. I love the fact that he did the year in Syracuse and won a national title, and I was rooting for him. We saw how that turned out. But yeah, man, just to sit there and then see his face and him kind of go through the reaction that he went through when he was discussing it on the shop, and I was like, man, y'all really let this shit bother y'all like that. So it just is what it is. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to cast aside Carmelo or say he's soft. We just disregard all of this type of talk and say today's people are soft. Maybe you just need to keep that barrier up there and not pay attention to what's going on with every. I mean, I said this with Stephen A. Smith. It's one him in the job that 10 million, 20 million idiots want, and he sits in it. So how could you sit there and please, whether he has 5 million fans or followers or detractors or whatever the shit is that pays him any attention, how could he please everybody when it's 1 to 5 million or 1 to 7.5 million or whatever it is? So I don't know, man. It was something to really tap into, which leads me to Naomi Osaka, kind of the poster athlete for mental health. And as she's brought this up and had her struggles and it's become more public, this is she's synonymous with this now. And the Sharks are circling. She's hit her rough patches. Obviously she lost in the second round at the Olympics. She withdrew from the French, skipped Wimbledon, and now we get here to to the U.S. Open, and I see an article, and here it is, and I'm like, why did you share this? why are you letting people in your world like this? And especially if you're this fragile in this area, like why are you giving people ammunition? So on Yahoo Sport, in this article by Andrew Reed that was posted earlier today, Monday, August the 30th, it goes back to her and mental health and her struggles. I saw, like last week, she was here in Ohio, north in Mason, north of Cincinnati, and a reporter from the Cincinnati Enquirer, asked her a question. The hometown people asked her a question, and she left. She left out of the media room crying or something. Returned a few minutes later, and her agent got involved. Somebody from the New York Times or a New York paper got involved, and it's like this stuff is gonna follow her around for the rest of her career. And I'm just like, just play tennis. I mean, damn, just keep the main thing the main thing. But here, like I said, on the with the U.S. Open starting up, I'm hoping she does well. But she put this post out here, and again, why are you sharing this shit? But she says, hi. She put this out here yesterday. Hi, I've been reflecting over this past year. So grateful for the people around me because the support I feel is completely unparalleled. Why didn't you just gather said people and say y'all are awesome? Let me buy y'all a round of drinks, or let's celebrate. Let's get prepared for a phenomenal run here at the US Open. Let's have a great meal. And thank you guys. Why do these people go to social media to tell the people next to them, hey, I love what you do in my life and what you mean to me? I don't get it. She says, recently I've been asking myself, why do I feel the way I do? And I realize one of the reasons is because internally, I think I'm never good enough. Said way too much. Said way too much right here. Way too much. She says, I'm talking with myself, and because internally I think I'm never good enough. Like you need to get off of here, and you need to go spend some money and some time with somebody who can really help you work through this. I'm just guessing. She said, I've never told myself that I've done a good job, but I do know I constantly tell myself that I suck or I could do better. I mean, what? I don't want to know all this stuff. I don't even want to know this stuff. And you see, when every time she goes to settle into her stance to return a serve, she does that little thing where she hits her thigh. And it's like, is this some kind of self-punishment shit, or what is this little routine right here? Is it to wake me up, or is it, I know some dudes used to wear the rubber band on their wrist, and when they make a mistake, they would pull it and snap them. We just know it too much, man. She says, I know in the past, some people have called me humble, but if I really consider it, I think I'm extremely self-deprecating. Every time a new opportunity arises, my first thought is, wow, why me? This is a very young person. I mean, she's been in the States a lot. She also has, that Japanese culture that's a little, eccentric. It's not all me. They're very attuned with the others in their society and whatnot. But this is just, wow, why me? I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to try to celebrate myself and my accomplishments more. I think we all should. Yeah, a lot of us are already there. A lot of us have been shitted on, beat up enough, lied to, disregarded, discounted, ignored, all that shit from the people that mean the most to us. A lot of us are down that road, and it's a lot of people that, since as a result of being treated in that way, it's easy for a lot of people to go out here and say a lot of hurtful shit to these athletes when they get these types of openings. You got up in the morning and didn't procrastinate on something, champion. Figured something out at work that's been bugging you for a while. I did that today. Absolute legend. Your life is your own, and you shouldn't value yourself on other people's standards. And like, all of this stuff, and you putting all this stuff, you typing all this stuff up, like, and this is what's weird with with the world right now is like people put all this shit up on me on social media to read my thought, like my thought, especially the celebrities. Look at my new thought today, but then you don't walk this shit out. You don't live this shit out. And it's more that's more important than taking the time to sit here and say, hey, light bulb, your life is your own and you shouldn't value yourself on other people's standards. But it's different to really embody this shit. I know I give my heart to everything I can, and if that's not good enough for some, then my apologies, but I can't burden myself with those expectations anymore. I'm glad she's having this revelation, you know, and going through this, because you should have been here already. Seeing everything that's going on in the world, I feel like if I wake up in the morning, that's a win. You damn right. I mean, again, all of this is very simple stuff. And then she says to finish it off, that's how I'm coming. If I had an applause button, all right, Naomi, like, so let's stay here, right? Like,